Hello everyone, this is Korosh Erfani and today is Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. I am going to discuss about the Trump's presidency because we are getting closer to the anniversary of the second term of his presidency, and it's interesting to see what could be, let's say, partial, because it's just the beginning, a partial assessment of Trump's second presidency. If you want, it would be interesting. I am going to present several points. The list is not exhaustive, is not complete, and it can be added by many other elements, and that's why I am giving you just an apprehension of this presidency, and in the conclusion I will tell you why it's very important to have this record right now after just almost 1 year, because 3 more years are just inconceivable. We cannot imagine something like a full term of Trump's presidency. We are talking about 4 years, 3 more years, and you are going to see that such a thing is just unimaginable. Let's start with this assessment, with this record, with the first point. The first point is the famous turf war has not really brought anything that we can consider as positive or constructive for the American economy. The only result was somehow and to some extent inflation, such as 2 to 3% inflation in general for some goods and services, much more. For coffee, it's a matter of almost 40%. So the tariff was just the transfer of the financial charge of a bankrupt administration on the shoulders of the people, because the people are right now paying something between 60 to 80% case by case of the whole charge of tariffs to the government. So these are not the country that are exporting to the United States. These are not the big companies. These are the ordinary citizens, American folks that are paying the famous tariff of President Trump. So that's why we can consider this one as the first failure of his second presidency. The second point is the ICE project. We can see that it became practically a coup project. This is a coup that is just running across the United States, and you can see it visibly in some cities like Minneapolis, for example, where the coup is going on right now. In other cities as well, you have the extreme behavior of the law enforcement. This is in San Diego, and as you can see, the method that had been taught by IDF to the law enforcement in the United States, and the integration of the Israeli soldiers in ICE or law enforcement, police, sheriffs. So all of these are paying a very huge price for the American people. Why? Because it's a matter of killing them, beating them, exercising an unbelievable degree of violence hour after hour. And here we have a breaking news of a second man that had been killed by the agents of ICE in Minneapolis. So that's the second person a few hours ago had been shot in Minneapolis. So this is not really any anti-immigration or something like that, only and only in order to have a paramilitary force in the streets so that they can prepare the Americans to accept a new form of dictatorship, which is a military one, a paramilitary one. This is what the Israeli president of the United States, Stephen Miller, conceived and planned for the United States, so that the Israeli coup in the United States can be successful, and it's going on. But don't forget that we are on the brink of the mental preparation of the American people, at least partially, for a civil war. And this is thanks to Israel and its nasty projects for this country. Let's say the third point can be seen as the general situation of the American economy, which is degrading and deteriorating, and there is no doubt that with this amount of deficiency in the public budget, with the national debt going towards $40 trillion, we are talking about a dead-walking American economy. There is no doubt about that, and we know it, and Trump knows it as well. The new point is here. The coup that had been attempted in Venezuela was not really successful, right? They went there in order to have the oil, and now the oil companies are telling president that they are not ready to invest whatsoever. So he gathered them in order to have the promise regarding $80 to $100 billion, which is necessary to run really the completely out of order oil industry in Venezuela, and nobody was there to give such a promise. And that's why if Trump wants to be successful in this matter, must find somewhere something like $80 billion to $100 billion from the taxpayers, American taxpayers' dollars, to invest in the Venezuela's oil industry. So a total failure also here. Another point is the famous occupation of Greenland. We know now that it is possible that such a thing make or cause NATO completely to collapse. This is what France is saying, Germany, United Kingdom, Denmark, and other members of NATO, that if there is the occupation of a territory belonging to one of the members of NATO, of course the NATO will collapse. And this is what is going to happen if President Trump wants really to go over there with a military force whatsoever. The other point is the uncertain future of Gaza, because today they were talking about the second phase, just on the paper and for the sake of saying that we are really taking care of that, but there is no perspective, there is nothing as preparation, there is no country ready to send its military force over there. So that's why it's a project, a Zionist project, that is the complete destruction of Gaza, and the United States is just on leverage, and we know that is a total failure as well. The other point is regarding what's happening between Russia and Ukraine. We are talking here about not only any perspective of ceasefire, but intensifying the fights. They are bombing each other at an unprecedented rate, and of course no ceasefire, no peace in perspective. Another huge catastrophic failure for President Trump. And finally, the very hot debate right now around the actions, the action that President Trump can carry out against Iran. As you can see, I am telling that Iran is becoming more and more a bigger threat for the United States, for Israel, and these two now they are realizing that they cannot contain it. They cannot contain anymore the increasing firepower of the Iranian regime, because it's getting the new weapons, the new missiles from China, from Russia, which means that, and also we have to hint to the internal development of the Iranian missiles. So they are becoming more and more powerful. They are getting a higher level of firepower over the American bases in the region or over Israel. And you see that they don't have any plan to do whatever. If they want to contain it, they have to attack Iran. Attacking Iran means triggering an all-out war for the whole region, for the whole Middle East, bringing Turkey, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and other countries in this war. And by extension, of course, we are going to have the presence of China, Russia. So a very good context for laying the foundation of the Third World War. So that's why we can consider, based on these points, and of course, as I told you, we can add several other elements to this list. We can see that just the partial assessment, because it's not even a complete year of the second term of Trump's presidency, we can see that failure after failure, and almost nothing positive that can be underlined here. So what is important in this assessment is to know that the Trump's presidency was not really intended or designed to serve the American national interest. We can be sure about that. Trump was not elected to serve the American people. We know that. Now we know completely, even though they tried to make it believe, as a fact that the American 80 million, 85 million Americans are voting for him, but that was a deception. That was a Zionist plan to deceive the American people, so that the favorite candidate of Zionism can go to the White House. This is what happened actually. But here I am trying to formulate it. Trump's presidency was not at all designed, planned, or intended to serve American national interests. Forget about that. There is no such a thing, and we know this. It was for what? For the Zionist interests of Israel, for the greater Israel, for the Zionist network, for the world Jewish government or world Jewish dominance. This is what they want. This is their fantasy. All right. So Trump is here with the Epstein files as the Damocles sword over his head, in order to serve Israel. And just the images or the news that are going on right now in social media is unbelievable. Let me show you something. Can you imagine that this is in a gathering of the officials in Mar-a-Lago? Look at this. So these are the kind of a traditional operation of showing effectively the arrival of the time of domination of the Jews over the world, and they now show it. They show off the fact that we are dominating, we are governing, we are taking control of everything, and they don't hide it anymore. And here is another sign of that. These guys, the BlackRock CIO Rick Redder, an Israeli, not a Jew, an Israeli is going to be at the head of the Federal Reserve. So with that, it means that the American finance system will be in the hands of Israel. Just to give you an idea about how the things are. So that's why we can see that if President Trump can have a successful presidency, it only means successful for Zionism. And at this, in the same rationale, with the same rationale or same logic, we can say that if he fails, that would be the failure of Zionism. So that's why this subject is extremely important. You know, we know that Trump's presidency in the first term between 2017 2020, it was a complete failure, right? But with the COVID-19 pandemic and a lot of other things, we can consider that as a relative failure. But here we are talking about the total, absolute failure. Why? Because if the record, if the assessment that we have just seen is such in the just first year, not even complete first year, can you imagine that till the end of the second term of presidency? There won't be such a thing. There won't be at the end of this presidency. There will be only and only, I am telling you, and I told you this in my prediction for 2026, year of war, year of all wars almost. There would be chaos, there would be war for the American, for the United States, let's say. We predicted all of this, you remember, for 2026. So it's a matter of a coup in the United States, which is running right now. And essentially in Minneapolis, you have the scenes that are the premise, you know, the first signs of a civil war. We said that there won't be any election. Forget about the midterm elections in the United States, and the civil war in the proper meaning of the term is going to happen. You have it in some areas now, and also the regional global conflict, which is under control and are under command of Israel with the leverage of the US Army. So with such a thing, I think we can see that United States is going to be sacrificed. And I am consciously and purposely using this word because one of the meaning of this operation that you saw here is announcing that everything must be sacrificed for the domination of Zionists or Jews. You know, this is what they think effectively by these this kind of actions. So they are announcing that we are going to dominate the world, and in order to do so, everyone must be sacrificed, including the American empires, American national interests, American nations, everything, Iranian people, Iranian nation, the whole global population, everything must be sacrificed so that we can get to our ideological is just a term to deceive us, the interest. They don't think anything, they don't believe in anything. All of the Zionist ideology is just pure fiction, just a pure mockery of the world. They are laughing to the whole world that believe that they are doing it because of religion, because of ideology or some. No, it's a matter of just getting more and more wealth, power, in order to satisfy the most basic Can you believe that in the Maslow pyramid, they want to dominate the world in order to answer abundantly, without any limit, to their basic needs. We are talking about that. There is nothing as extraordinary as a value or something in what the Zionists are doing, and they are extremely in grasp with the basic needs of humanity, and they don't think anything beyond that. It's as easy as that. That's why they are completely vanishing, abolishing, destroying the human civilization for their level of understanding of the human existence, unfortunately. But they are doing so. President Trump had been selected, not elected, selected to be in power in order to do whatever they need in the United States and through the U.S. military force across the world for the interest of Zionism and Israel. So beware about that. We are going to talk much more about this in the future videos. Thank you very much for watching this.